one of the really important exceptions that we have is the fair use exception. And fair use really is the right to use copyrighted content without permission in certain circumstances, and there are obvious, limitations to how much you can use and why. Okay, and there's 4 factors, so it's a 4-factor multi-part test. And the first factor is, what is the purpose and character of the use? We will really get at the heart of that factor because it is the most important. It's why are you using the copyrighted content that you are using? A sub-factor under this is whether it's commercial or not. We'll also talk a lot about that. And then the second factor is, what is the nature of the original work? That means what the thing that you want to use. Is it a newspaper article? Is it a phone book? Is it something that's copyrightable, or maybe a recipe? Things fall on a different spectrum of like the most creative works that are very highly protected, like Harry Potter or a creative novel or something. On the other end of the spectrum, like closer to facts or not, not that original, that still can qualify for copyright protection, but it's the nature of it is not something that we highly guard. So if what you want to use is on the very high end spectrum of the most creative stuff, the idea is then when we look at a fair use analysis, we're going to look extra hard at that. Frankly, the second factor is not much of one that courts consider in fair use cases. The third factor is the amount and substantiality of the portion used. So how much of the original work are you using? It doesn't have to do with how long is your movie and you only use 30 seconds of this 30-second video. It's how long is the original is the thing that you are using, how much of that are you using? And that factor really depends a lot on why you're using it. So sometimes the reason you're using something could necessitate actually using more of the content than less. You have to look at how much are you using and what is its relationship to why you're using it. And then the fourth factor is, what is the effect of your use on the potential market or the value of the original? So we want to encourage creativity. We don't want to encourage things that just usurp the value of the original in the first place. So downloading movies, it's the same purpose as why they're released in the first place. Like the idea of substituting one use for another is something that we don't want to encourage. But when you are doing something new and different and has a totally different value and a totally different market, a completely different audience, then there are arguments for why it doesn't affect the market on the original. And so it wouldn't affect the incentive for the original author to have made their work in the first place.